Hello, everybody. I'm happy to see you all here. Some familiar faces, some new faces. My name is Ralitsa, and I love people and I love helping with people. But today, I'll be talking about how we can know each other better. And before I start, I would like to ask you a question. How many of you this morning looked at the mirror and checked your hair, your clothes, maybe your muscles? Can you raise your hand? And how many of you looked deeper and looked within yourself and checked for your energy, how you are feeling, how you are looking inside? Well, very well. And how many of you think that you actually know yourself well? Not okay, a lot of people. So let me share with you a secret. Maybe some of you know it, but science says that 90% of who we are is subconscious, and actually we run on patterns, and quite often we don't know and we are not very conscious about that patterns. That is because our brain loves to save energy, and the easiest thing to do is just to run a pattern and to act on it over and over again. And today I'm going to share with you 5 mirrors that are super easy, some things that you can use and be aware, and you can know yourself better. The first one is the energy. And now I would like to invite you to ask you actually to think about situation which gave you energy, which made you really happy, really uplifted. Think about that situation for a moment. And now take your time and think about a situation that drained you. What was that situation and what is that telling you? Energy is like a compass for us. And usually our brain asks, is this worth my attention or is it not? And if something gives us energy, it is something that wires the dopamine circuits in our brain. And what gives us energy is an indicator of what is really important to us. Then let's go to the second mirror. These are our emotions. And now again, I would like to ask you, what is something that uplifts you and what is something that triggers you? Can you think for a second about these two situations? Think about something that really makes you happy and something that you are not. Emotions are like early warning signals for our brain. And long before our logical mind is activated, our limbic system reacts and it sends a signal in the way of emotions. So when we feel an emotion, it's an indicator, and we have to be careful about that. Let's move to mirror number 3. This is the curiosity. And now I have a question for you. What is one thing that you are curious about? What is a thing that when you start doing, you get into a flow? You feel really into it. You feel happy, you are interested, and you want to know more. Think about that. What is that saying? Curiosity is like our internal search engine. It keeps highlighting the questions that are really important to us. And when something intrigues us, the prefrontal cortex gets activated and the dopamine system is also activated. Now, let's move to mirror number 4. These are our body signals. And let me ask you, how are you feeling at the moment? Are your shoulders stressed and tensed, or are they relaxed? Are you sitting up or are you crunching? Is your jaw relaxed or it's very, very tight? Your body is constantly sending you signals because our brain processes signals in milliseconds and it immediately sends these signals to our body. And before our thoughts can analyze what is going on, our body already reacted. So it's good to observe what our body is saying. And now let's go to mirror number 5. These are the patterns occurring in our life over and over again. And let me invite you, think about a situation that is happening to you again and again, or a type of person that you are meeting over and over. You are having the same type of problems. You are meeting the same type of people. Why is that? Again, our brain loves efficiency. And in order to save energy, it runs some patterns. We often call it our personality, but these are actually habits that are built into our brain. But the important part is that once we are aware of these patterns, we can redesign them. So if I have to sum up, our brain, our body send us signals all the time. And once we learn to notice them, we can control them and we can reshape who we are or remain the same person if we want to be. It depends on us, but the important thing is that we have a choice. But again, let me explain why we miss quite often these signals. Because our body, our brain is designed to save energy. And much of our behavior is controlled by automatic systems and by habit circuits in the brain. So the important thing is to become aware of these patterns and to gain something very important, awareness and choice to become who we are. Because our brain is like a giant jungle, and the patterns, the habits that we have are pathways that are created. But once we decided to change them, we can create a new pattern. And there is super easy way to do that. First, let's notice the behavior, the signal that our brain sends us. Let's name it. Let's pause for a second and let's choose another way to react in this situation. And when we repeat it several times, we can create a new pathway. So instead of reacting automatically, we begin to designing the person of who we want to be. Or we remain the same person if we like the person that we are. Also, it's an option. So one thing to remember and one request that I have for you now. Before you leave today, think about what your 5 mirrors are telling you. Go to a person you don't know today and share. What have you understand about you when you were thinking about these 5 mirrors? And remember that it's not important to look only in the mirror in the bathroom, but also look inside in your internal mirror and check what is saying. Thank you very much.